Hello, today is the 24th of May 2012, and in this video we're going to take a look at how the markets do on the European hours, 8 hours ending 1600, I'm guessing GMT, which is the data from silver that I get from the link below on livecharts.co.uk. I pretty much started, well, I have just pretty much started this spreadsheet. I'm going to finish, it's not going to take long at all. But how I've calculated this is I've got the price 8 hours before 1600 here in column C, and I have the price at 1600s in column D. Therefore, to find out how much silver gains during the European hours, I take the difference from here, subtract this. So from 1260 to 1242, that's 18 cents. I take the 18 cents, divide it by the low of 1242, which would have given a gain of 1.45%. The non-European hours, how it's calculated is it takes its time here, the price here, subtracts the previous close. So 1242 subtract 1247 is negative 5 cents. Divided by 1247, that's a loss of 0.4%. So I got the percentage gains, and I'm starting it at an index of 100 for each one, which is an easy way to state how much it's up or down. So in the first few days, starting in 2007, January 12th, European hours, it was down a little over 3% and up 1% at the non-time frame. There's been quite a few days. I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom here, as this takes us to May 22nd, which is a couple days ago. I got the charts ready to go, and we'll see how this works out. This is both of them. This is the European hours, and this is the non-European hours. So let's calculate this now. All I have to do is just copy and paste these cells down, and then we'll just scroll down and take a look at how the numbers work. So on the 14th of February, it was actually doing better on the European hours, up 6.5% compared to a little under 2. We'll keep scrolling down, maybe paste a few more cells. Still somewhat even. Again, I don't know what exactly I'm going to be getting, but I do presume that the European hours are not going to be doing quite as well. But it's been pretty neck and neck right now in this race. Still neck and neck. Maybe that's how it's going to be. Okay, well, the non-European hours are starting to pull away now, up 36% compared to 1.5. And now it's really starting to pull away. What day are we on now? We're on 2008. And European hours aren't doing so. So let me just go to the very bottom now and see how this all ends. And we'll take a look at the charts, of course. It's been a lot of days since 2007, including today. That would be 1401 because I'm not counting 2. So there we have it. It's lost about 30% of its value starting in 2007 during European hours. And it's did better than triple during the non-European hours. So this is row 1402. I'm going to have to do a few changes in here for the scaling to get it to work. Let's just put a low in of, say, 50 and see how that works out. So there we have it. This is what the chart looks like. So this here, this is of course the amount of dates, but obviously in 2008, the capitulation of the prices was mainly done from the 8 hours period ending around 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, or 1600, of course, GMT. And the current capitulation, as we can see in here, has done the same thing for from this top, you can see how it's kept an upward trend in play. This one has been in a downward trend. So again, we'll take a look at this now, just using the European hours again, and actually this would be the, yeah, this is a European hour, so let's change the low again. So it's a choppy downward movement stock. It hasn't been profitable to be going long on silver for the 8 hours, of course, ending 1600. I've said that too much, but I'll explain how I did this video in just a few seconds. I'm just going to do this one here as well. This, of course, is the one that's in the uptrend, because it's all the hours not including that time frame. And there you can see the down move here, and then it goes uptrend, downtrend, sideways, uptrend, a little bit of a sideways here, uptrend, and then just the consolidation period. You can connect these trend lines together, and you can have connect the resistance point to a lower rate of ascent, which means that they meet up with each other. I'll put that in a different video maybe. So how I calculated this, I don't do any major macro computer programming. I'm just trying to see. I wouldn't even know how to do it, which is actually a kind of surprise, to be honest with you. Nope, I just do regular, everyday programming within the cell. So this is the hourly time frame. This goes back to January 1st, so I got all the hours in here. And if you look at the amount of rows, that's 33,709 up until 1,300 hours on May 23rd. So I have the open, the high, the low, and the close. How I'm able to calculate this is I asked the computer some questions. Every single row, I got 5 different columns, H, I, J, K, L. And every single row it's asking a question. The question it's asking is this column here, which is actually set in text, does it equal 16:20:01? If it does, give me the date. If it doesn't, give me nothing. Same thing here. If it's got that, then give me the time here, just to put on the time. If it's got it again here, then I want you to put in the level of C33680, which is this one here. I want the open from 8 hours ago. And here's the close. And this is more of a sorting feature here. What I'm doing here is I start off with 1. And I ask it again if this is not 1600 in column M, then give me the same number it had before. And here, if it is not, put nothing again, but if it does say 1600, give me what the previous number was, but add 1 to it. So here, oh, it is 1600, so this number is 1. I'm going to add 1 to it for 2. Now the reason for this is because I can copy and paste this all the way through and sort it by this number to order the dates. And you might think, well, couldn't you just sort it by date? And normally, yeah, but for whatever reason, this program is having a very hard time sorting by dates. A couple other things that I looked at within this chart that I decided to do beforehand, and that was 1, the price action, the volatility. So let's look at volatility. What I asked the computer here was to take the largest point over the last 500 periods, the highest and the lowest. Now what I want you to do is take the difference from high to low, which in this case would be around 5, and divide it by the low to give me a percentage, which is 17.45, and you can get all these percentages in here. And this tells you how volatile the market is. So the chart looks something like this. This is going back to 2007. Okay, there we are. So this is the chart, which shows we've really had 3 really major volatile moments. This is the 2008 crisis, where silver fell below 12, 13, ultimately to 8.5, and that was a volatility in here. This was the major volatile move of April of 2011, and then again in September of 2011. So we've had 3 significant resistant levels breaking 30% on this chart. Now, as far as the price action is concerned, I just thought I'd quickly draw up the line chart. And there we have it. So that's it for the video. Again, this is how silver does on the non-European time frames, which is from 1600 time frame to 0800. This is how it does from 0800 to 1600, which is not as good. And this is the culmination of them both together. Now I can get data on this web page going back, I think, to the 1990s. So I'm going to go back to as long as I can and see how this plays out within that. But give me a few weeks within that. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a good day, good night, or good evening. Bye-bye.